FPV-шка.
Ukrainian Azov units have reportedly conducted a successful close-range assault, advancing on and clearing a fortified enemy position in a tightly contested sector of the front. The operation, characterized by intense, short-distance combat, underscores the continued reliance on small unit tactics and precision coordination in modern battlefield conditions.
Воно той. А воно, бачиш, де він?
Горить, вйобуйся сюди.
Знімай з флорну кришку.
Загорілося. Може покабуть.
Братанчик, крий мене, я до них під...
According to field reports, the engagement unfolded in a heavily entrenched area where opposing forces had established defensive cover using trenches, bunkers, and improvised fortifications. Azov fighters approached under concealment, utilizing terrain and suppressive fire to close the distance before initiating the assault. Once within striking range, the unit engaged in close-quarters combat, systematically moving through enemy positions. Clearing operations involved coordinated entry into trenches and dugouts, with soldiers securing each segment before advancing further. This methodical approach minimized exposure while maintaining operational momentum. Drone reconnaissance is believed to have played a key role in the operation, providing real-time intelligence on enemy movement and defensive layouts. This allowed assault teams to adapt quickly, targeting weak points and avoiding heavily defended zones where possible. The engagement highlights the evolving nature of frontline combat, where technology and traditional infantry tactics intersect. Despite the presence of advanced surveillance tools, the outcome ultimately depended on disciplined execution, communication, and the ability to operate effectively under high-pressure, close-range conditions. Military analysts note that such operations, while tactically significant, often come at considerable risk due to the proximity of opposing forces. However, they remain essential for reclaiming territory and disrupting enemy defensive lines. The cleared position is expected to provide Ukrainian forces with a localized tactical advantage, potentially opening avenues for further advances or strengthening defensive depth in the area. As fighting continues across multiple sectors, engagements like this reflect the ongoing intensity of the conflict and the critical role of small unit actions in shaping broader operational outcomes. The Ministry of Defense of Ukraine has announced continued implementation of the Frontline project, a large-scale initiative aimed at transforming battlefield operations. The program, launched by the President of Ukraine, seeks to scale a new doctrine centered on technology-driven warfare. The core concept of Frontline is to preserve personnel by establishing a kill zone where enemy forces cannot advance without incurring losses. The project is designed to integrate unmanned systems into a unified operational framework along the front line. Frontline provides continuous aerial support to infantry units. It enables sustained engagement of enemy forces at depths of 10 to 15 kilometers. The initiative represents a practical implementation of Ukraine's broader war plan. It marks a transition from fragmented drone use to a systematic approach across the battlefield. Within just over a year of its launch, the project has demonstrated measurable results. Units operating within or supported by Frontline are reported to neutralize 1 in 4 targets on the battlefield. The program consolidates combat experience from leading unmanned systems units. It also integrates modern technologies, analytical capabilities, stable funding, and centralized support structures. The objective is to detect and destroy enemy forces before they can approach Ukrainian positions. This approach positions unmanned systems as a central element of strike operations. Frontline includes key formations from the unmanned systems forces of the armed forces of Ukraine. These units operate within a coordinated network under a unified operational concept. The project also supports additional brigades and specialized formations working within the same doctrine. This structure enables the expansion of effective units and the scaling of proven operational practices. As of now, more than 1,000 drone crews are operating under the program. Their activities are described as having a systemic impact on the battlefield. During the winter period, Frontline units within the unmanned systems forces neutralized more than 30,000 enemy personnel. In March alone, reported enemy losses exceeded 10,500 personnel as a result of these operations. The project is also supported by international funding. The Netherlands has allocated $880 million to support its expansion and procurement of unmanned systems. Funding has been used to acquire first-person view drones, intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance platforms, and bomber UAVs. These systems contribute to establishing the operational kill zone concept. Frontline is open to both military personnel and civilians. The program seeks specialists, including UAV operators, engineers, IT professionals, and medical staff. All recruits undergo specialized training tailored to their roles. This includes both basic military preparation and professional instruction in relevant technologies. The project also allows for reassignment of serving personnel to participating units. Civilian recruits receive support throughout the enlistment process and integration into operational roles. Ukraine's defense industry is now capable of producing millions of FPV drones every year, President Volodymyr Zelensky said, highlighting the scale and growing sophistication of the country's domestic weapons production. Speaking in an address marking Ukrainian Gunsmith Day, Zelensky said Ukraine's arms sector had developed into a major force, supplying not only first-person view FPV drones, but also long-range missiles, interceptors, shells, and robotic systems already in active use on the battlefield. The capabilities of Ukraine's defense industry amount to millions of FPV drones per year, Zelensky said. He added that Ukraine now has deep strike capabilities, interceptors, and millions of shells, as well as long-range missile systems that are no longer experimental. Zelensky said these were only Ukraine's first steps, and that the defense industry would continue to expand. The industry will develop, and the enemy will feel it, he said. Everyone can see the historic range of our drones, 1,750 kilometers from our border. There will be more. This is not about records, but about justice that will find evil anywhere in the world. He said Ukraine is already shaping the future of warfare on the battlefield. The future is already here, already on the battlefield, and Ukraine is creating it, Zelensky said. Zelensky also said that for the first time in the war, Ukraine's ground robots and drones had captured an enemy position without infantry. For the first time in the history of this war, an enemy position was taken exclusively by unmanned platforms and drones, he said. The occupiers surrendered, and this operation was carried out without the involvement of infantry and without losses on our side. He said Ukrainian unmanned ground systems, including Ratel, Termit, Ardal, Borsuk, Zmi, Protector, and Volya, had carried out more than 22,000 missions in just 3 months. In other words, more than 22,000 times lives were saved, Zelensky said. Robotic systems went into the most dangerous zones instead of soldiers.